launching into the comics in 1974 with Hulk 181 or Hulk 180, the last page, depending on what you want. This is one of my absolute favorite heroes, Wolverine. We can argue if it's Logan or James Howlett. That's another story for another day. But this is one of my absolute favorite statues. It's put out by Iron Studios. It's something that's been out for many years, and I was recently able to acquire it, and we're going to take a look at it right here today on Save Toys.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, if you like it, collect it, oh boy. I got a new toy, oh boy, I got a safe toy, oh boy, I got a new toy, oh boy, if you like it, collect it, oh boy. I got a new toy, oh boy, I got a safe toy, oh boy, I got a new toy, oh boy, if you like it, collect it, oh boy. I got a new toy, oh boy, I got a safe toy, oh boy, I got a new toy, oh boy, if you like it, collect it, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, collect it, oh boy.
Welcome to Save Toys and More, where we're so excited about the new Deadpool / Wolverine movie. Who knew Hugh Jackman would be back? We're kind of glad. I got some personal opinions on the movie, which I'll share in just a minute. But before we go any further, we want to talk about some of the ways we're celebrating this movie here at Save Toys and More. Now, we do these wonderful hand-painted coasters. My wife does these to celebrate the movie. Got the claws and the Deadpool sign. This actually has been one of the memes around the internet. The heart sign with both their gloves. Both their cowls together. Let's get that in frame, and of course the logo. Also, we've had these guys for a little bit, so come talk to me about them. This is my favorite Deadpool suit. It was kind of teased in the second Deadpool movie, the X-Force suit, and of course his X-Men suit. And we're trying to get more merchandise in this month in honor of the movie, so check us out at Save Toys and More, home for all your Wolverine Deadpool needs. So, we're going to take a look at one of my absolute favorite statues. This is the Astonishing X-Men suit, and one of my, actually the only gripe I have about this figure is the costume, but we're going to balance that out in just a second. This is the Astonishing X-Men Wolverine costume. It got popular in the Astonishing X-Men comic book line early 2000s. It was actually one of my least favorite of the yellow and blue suit. My first favorite, you may notice this on my shirt here too, but I'll take a look at this, the classic brown and yellow suit. There we go. And I want you in the comments below, tell me what your favorite Wolverine costume is. I know there's a big debate on which one's the best, and technically as a professor of Wolverineology, they're all correct. But before we get into the statue, ooh, I don't want them to fall, we're gonna take a look at this beautiful, beautiful box, because even when I was a kid, I always thought that a very important part of the action figure is the packaging, is the box. Like, I just don't want a beautiful figure slapped in tinfoil. Like, so this is a sideshow collectible, and the artwork is beautiful. The ripping claws, Wolverine, and like the metal, maybe adamantium even, colored lettering, the rivets. I mean, yes, you can tell it's cardboard. It's definitely not metal, but it does give a nice illusion to that. It's got Sideshow Collectibles at the very bottom of the box. When I got it, there's a few nicks, but this is an older statue. I think it came out around 2012, something like that. So it's going to happen. Matter of fact, if I was buying one of these myself, as I did this one, I would kind of wonder if the box was in too nice of a condition. Now, moving on, we're going to take a look at this beautiful, beautiful statue. It is literally my favorite statue of Wolverine ever. We had a little issue with the light. Let's see if we can keep on going. So let's talk about this base. Let's work our way up. There we go. Thank you, Director Aaron. Isn't she great, folks? Leave a comment also below telling director Aaron how grateful you are for her. So, Marcellus, don't get jealous. Now, we're going to start with this base. We all know what this is. This is a Sentinel's hand, freshly destroyed by Wolverine. How do you know that? Well, Aaron, I don't know if we can get this in view or not, but let's see if we can. I'm watching you to see what I should do here. I want to show that these tears in the middle, these are done by claws. These are done by his claws. You can see a lot more of them right around the base here even. Yes, that's good. Excellent. So, yes, this is not someone else's kill that he is boasting on. We're going to go back here. You can actually see ridges in the cut off fingers that were definitely his claws. Is that good, Aaron? That good? Awesome, awesome. So we're gonna start working our way up this beautiful statue. And fun fact, the difference between a statue and an action figure, like this action figure, is articulation. It can move, it can bend, you can pose it. This is a statue, it's fixed. That's kind of some basic knowledge, but I just want to throw that out there. Now, moving our way up, we're gonna start with these beautiful boots. Now, you can see like some spatters in the paint. This comes from oil when he tears apart the Sentinel. It is a machine. It's got oil. It splatters all the way up the boots. Now, one thing about this version of the Astonishing X-Men suit that I like, that's typically I don't think seen the comics, if I remember correctly, the boots were kind of like straightened off at the top, which to me was one of the things I didn't like about it. If I remember correctly, they were straight up like that, but I do love the points. And the like almost chainmail of his outfit. This is definitely not yellow spandex, as Hugh Jackman said in X-Men 1 when he was joking around with Cyclops. It's definitely like a chainmail, something like that, like an armored type suit, which I love. Moving back to the front, I like how we have stripes right here. Some of the Astonishing X-Men, the stripes I think were inverted. I think they were yellow over or blue over the yellow, something like that. And this kind of like makes it a little more grounded. I love them. It does kind of pay homage to some of his earlier costumes. I love the belt going through all the loops. Just beautiful detail. Now, Side Show Collectibles, one, as viewers of this channel know, are one of the best statue makers of all. They make a limited run. That's why these are generally retail quite expensively, because they'll make a run and that's it. And so that's the only ones of this pose and everything's going to be on the market. They may bring out another Astonishing X-Men Wolverine for the new movie. I'm sure they have already worked on that. Matter of fact, I think I saw one on their website the other day, but no more of this particular pose and everything. But one of the areas that mine had a slight mess up on, and it's one of my very few complaints, is it does have some yellow blotching right there. But I still, the overall look at it, I'm not going to nitpick at that. I'm just going to point it out. Moving along to his arms, they got this tan, fighting out the sun, different things like that. But they do have hair. These are actually ridges with paint inside the ridges. It's just phenomenal attention to detail. They could have just painted this and splashed some black paint with a brush with kind of the hair's kind of frizzed out, so kind of emulate hair. But they actually went in and molded the hair into his arm and then painted a little bit of black. So that's a lot of detail. The claws. This is something that we always deal with Wolverine statues and Wolverine action figures, the claws. How do we do the claws? Do we make them rubbery? Do we put little insets like in the early Toy Biz days inside the claws to kind of hold them together? Do we make them removable? Do we make them fixed? And as you may have seen back in one of our earlier episodes in season 1, one of the things that I kind of wrote out was I like permanent in and out claws, like alternate gloves. Unfortunately, this does not give us any alternate pieces like gloves that the claws are retracted. But I do like fixed claws. These are held together by magnets, and be very careful. Try to put these in there. They are beautiful. They are absolutely there you go, Aaron. They're absolutely beautiful. Little fun fact: when Len Wein created Wolverine, and Hulk, argue it's either Hulk 180 at the last sheet or Hulk 180. The last sheet of the comic full spread was a picture of Wolverine. There were some advertisements in some like Daredevil comics for the upcoming Hulk 181. Or if you just want to, as most collectors do, count Hulk 181 as the first full appearance, because indeed it was the first full comic he was in. But when Len Wein first came out with it, in his mind he had envisioned that the claws were part of the gloves, not actually in his hand and things like that. So that was more of the lore of Wolverine that came out I'll say much later, but later on as a character. And I think for the best that the claws were retractable. That's so cool. I do like the shoulder pads. I think the Astonishing X-Men suit had a little bit different shoulder pads. I'm kind of going off memory, and as you can tell, like I said, it was one of my least favorite suits, so I didn't really notice a whole lot about it other than I didn't like it. But the way it's presented in the statue is absolutely beautiful. I love the shoulder pads. I love the black again up there that kind of gives it more, but it looks more of the tiger stripe suit, kind of a mixture with the Astonishing Wolverine and the tiger stripe suit. And then this head, again, held on my magnet, so we're going to be very careful taking it off. This is beautiful. You can see the ridges in the back. Let's see, it's kind of hard to pose my hand here. There we go. I'm going to be very careful. Those ridges, the anger lines, and the stitching, the white-outed eyes, the chin, the gritted teeth. I do believe there was a variant of this statue that had an unmasked head. Wouldn't have been a fan of it. I do appreciate how Wolverine looks, and like I said, with the upcoming movie, Hugh Jackman, though he's too tall and too slim to be Wolverine. Wolverine was 5'3" and stocky. But his face has always looked like Wolverine, which oddly enough is my complaint against the movies. I think Hugh Jackman sacrifices the fandom so that he can show his face. They have released, I think last week online at the filming of this episode, that he would be masked for at least or around 10 minutes of the movie. Some speculate that it'll be a CGI mask, but I've never really liked that about Hugh Jackman. I always felt like he cheated the fans because he wants us to see Hugh Jackman. But that's probably my lowly opinion, and probably not too many people that would follow suit with that. But this is our review of the Wolverine premium format statue Astonishing X-Men suit by Side Show Collectibles.
It's a toasty one. Sorry it takes so long. It sounds like somebody's barbecuing outside. Anyways, oh yeah, I had to find this little notebook. This is actually Micah's, my oldest. He went to church camp a couple weeks ago, and some of his notes, and he was sharing some of the stuff with me, and I thought it was really, really good. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna share this with you. So before you take off, I'm going to share with you and just give you a couple quick thoughts. So yeah, I'm glad you're here, and hope you're doing well and all that stuff. But anyways, his little notes, the little section he's got here, he's got titled "What Giant Killers Do," and the first point is like 4 points, real quick. The point 1, he said, "Giant killers ask why not, why others say." They say why not. They give the excuses, So he said he was talking about the story of David and Goliath, and even I think when David was running from Absalom and was hiding in caves, or I think even hidden caves when he's running from King Saul. But anyways, he's got written here, Israelites in the story of David and Goliath is representative of Christians or the church. And giant killers believe with God nothing is impossible, and we should be like David and look at opportunity, not opposition. Now think about it. Giant killers ask why not, while others say why not. They give excuses. Remember, David was saying, why hasn't anybody taken out this uncircumcised Philistine? And all the soldiers and stuff said, well, he's big, he's he's a lot bigger and he's stronger than us. They're just fearful. But David's confidence, as it's been said by many people many times, David's confidence was in was in the Lord, was in God, because he says, I will cut off your head. He said to Goliath, I'll cut off your head. I come in the name of the Lord. And we know in the story that David tried on Saul's armor, but it's too big, bulky, and David's like, no, I don't need this. This is not me. Number 2, giant killers are often misunderstood. When God gives you a vision, it will upset or confuse others. And are you willing to be misunderstood for your vision? Now, when Micah shared that with me, I was like, dude, that was so good. Because even how many times, or, think this way, God's gave you a vision, a dream. He's placed something in your heart. I talk about it many times. And then you pursue that. Or how many stories have you heard of other people pursuing their dreams? All of a sudden, other people are like, I don't get it. Don't make no sense. It's too dangerous. No, don't do that. It's way out of your league. That's da-da-da-da. This and that. Well, those people don't understand. Nobody, I think that nobody really truly understands your vision that God gave you except for you. Because if they could, then I think 1, the vision is not big enough. Number 2, it's theirs. But I think most people say that or misunderstand because 1, like I said, it's not theirs. So they get scared and upset, and because when you start pursuing your God-given dream, when you start pursuing what God's placed on your heart, when you start pursuing your dreams, whatever that is, whether it's starting your own business, or maybe you want to earn a certain amount of income per year, or maybe you want a certain atmosphere in your home, or maybe you want to make a certain contribution to your community or to your church or to whatever, and other people will be like, no, you should do this, you should do that. They'll give you advice on what to do or what not to do, anything other than what you want to do. But that's because they have you in a little box in their world, and their world is in order, or order enough in their life that when you go pursue your dream, you're taking yourself out of the place they've placed you in, and it makes them uncomfortable, and people don't like to be uncomfortable. So are you willing to be misunderstood for the vision that God gave you? That's so good. And then also, he wrote, giant killers create other giant killers. Giant killers have the influence to change others. And he wrote again, you should be willing to be misunderstood. Or you could play, instead, giant killers create other giant killers. Leaders create leaders. Right now it comes on Moses. Moses raised up Joshua. Everybody should have somebody following, succeeding to take their place in whatever they're doing. To me that just, really don't know how to expound on it, to be honest with you. But it is good. And then this one's kind of referring to, this last point, kind of referring to when David was hiding in caves. He's got giant killers turn caves into strongholds. Often in our lowest moments, that's when we get closest to God. And usually, like my Pastor Brad Riddle will say, how does he put it? Oh, before God elevates you to your next level, he will separate you, kind of getting you prepared, getting rid of stuff you need to get rid of, and just refining you, making sure that you are able to handle the next level. Because God won't promote you if it's going to destroy you or hurt you or whatnot. But all this really, and it makes me think. So much of it really could pertain to life and like what God's placed on our hearts, and when we read David and Goliath, we think of physical giant, how it says that Goliath was like 9 feet tall, somewhere around there. I mean, he's a pretty tall dude, and though today our giants more than likely aren't physical people. Some people's situation, it might be a bully or something, or a boss, a bad boss or a co-worker, or somebody that is very difficult in their life. Not that we should go throwing rocks at them and cutting their heads off, but still, I think a lot of times today, really, our the giants in our lives are probably more in here than anywhere else, especially when we go pursue dreams, because we'll get to a point and people are pretty good at talking themselves out of doing things, especially when they're uncomfortable, when they're scared, when it's new or seems too tough. Or the giants might be the people, relatives, friends, that try to talk you out of your dreams and what God has placed on your heart to do. But we just got to have faith that when we go into uncharted territory, when we get into seasons and places geographically and metaphorically in our lives, that we have that our eyes are fixed upon Christ, that our faith in God is strong, because faith is most important when times are tough. I mean, it's easy to say, like, when we go to church and things are going well and we're not facing any hardships at the times, like, man, my faith is strong. Well, the really true test of your faith and how strong it is when you face adversity, trials, and fiery trials. When you face a diagnosis, or you face the loss of a job or loss of a loved one, when your world is shaken, that's when your faith is really shown how strong it is. But when you're in the unfamiliar territory, and if you're a person that knows God and believes your faith is strong, then just hold on to that, because I like it put this way. Faith is, it's even written down, faith is following a known God through an unknown times. And when my son shared that with me, I was like, dude, that is so awesome. That's so powerful. Faith is following a known God through unknown times. Whether you know God personally or not, God is known. God is known. I mean, Psalms 19:1 says that the skies testify of God, that He placed eternity in the hearts of man. All creation testifies of a Creator. So I believe, this is my opinion, that everybody knows of God. Only a few people, but others know God personally, like He's your Father, He is your God, He is your friend, He is your help in time of trouble, He is your source, your supply. That's so good. But yeah, I just wanted to share all that with you. So remember, if you're chasing your dreams, if you're misunderstood for that, if your compass view troubles as opportunities, when the enemy tries to throw stumbling blocks in front of you, just say, all right, great, I got me a stepping stone. These aren't stumbling blocks, these are stepping stones. When you get pushed back, all right, that just gives me, the setback is a setup for my my next step. you know, and this and that. But anyways, that's all. I just wanted to share that with you. I hope it blesses you. I know it really blessed me, you know. So I guess I'm ready to go. You ready to go? Okay. And man, I tell you what, let's go out and be modern day giant killers. You know, modern day giant killers. Just seek the Lord, what does that look like in our world? There's lots of giants now. Still giants, even though they look different than what they used to. All right, let's rock and roll, baby.
If you like it, collect it, oh boy.
I'm drowning in Deadpool and Wolverine madness, and I love it. Thank you for joining us again here at Save Toys. We want to ask you to like, subscribe, share, help the channel grow, be a part of the Save Toys family, and as always, if you like it, collect it.
Got a new toy, oh boy. I got a save toy, oh boy. I got a new toy, oh boy. If you like it, collect it, oh boy. I got a new toy, oh boy. I got a save toy, oh boy. I got a new toy, oh boy. If you like it, collect it, oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. If you like it, collect it, oh boy.